you sort of touched on it last night, but the review on Mondays and things you saw on the tape didn't please you. How sort of honest and frank and brutal was that assessment of the players?
Oh, it was extremely frank. I mean, as they always are, to be honest. I mean, we don't beat around the bush. The facts were there before us on the weekend. We were convincingly beaten by a side that was more desperate in the contest, consistently outnumbered us in the contest, and then you get a contested ball statistic like we had. So we're really clear on the reasons for that. The coaching staff have done a really good job of giving the players a way forward, and now we look forward to a response.
What were the reasons? Should you go into them a little bit?
Well, as I said on the couch last night, the review went for about 3 hours, so I can't go through all of them one by one, unless you've got a fair chunk of the afternoon available. But look, the bottom line is we can't, over a period of time, 2.5 years, I've never questioned our players' effort. And with an inexperienced squad, I can tolerate inconsistency of performance, because that's something with youth that you work on and they build on and they get better at. But I'll never tolerate inconsistency of effort. And it's the first time we've opened ourselves up to the accusation that our effort was un-North Melbourne-like. So that, in a nutshell, summarises our review.
Is it a reality check they maybe needed, as silly as that sounds?
I think that North Melbourne as a club and has got a history of responding, and our playing group have demonstrated that in the past too, so I think we'll see a response.
Is it possible to know or to work out why there was on this particular match a lack of effort?
Oh, look, I think that it's a subconscious thing. I think very rarely in modern footy, players going out and not trying is a thing of the past. I think all players at all clubs go out and try. But we've seen examples of tangible examples where players could be accused of not giving the effort that was required. So we'll address that.
How do you correct it, Brad? I mean, it's probably a number of ways.
Well, the biggest weapon a coach has in his armoury is selection. So that'll be stringently looked at this week. And then, look, we've reviewed it. We know what the issues were. We'll train them up really strongly and then demand a response on the weekend.
You were particularly honest about Lindsay Thomas and his goal kicking last night. Have you had a chat to him about that and what needs to change quickly?
Oh, he knows. I mean, don't miss goals from 20 metres out directly in front. It's pretty simple. But, you know, there's a lot of things that he's doing that are really helping the team. But as I said last night, there's a balance of those things. You weigh up the positives and the negatives, and as soon as you fall into the negative ledger, or negative side of the ledger, then you fall out of the side.
Do you worry that being too negative with a player like him could affect his confidence?
No, I think that we live in a highly pressurised environment. You either stand up to that or you don't. So, you know, there's no point hiding him away and protecting him and asking him to stick his head in the sand. He's got to face up to it and deal with it.
Is that point getting close where it's getting too far into the negative?
No. He kicked 3 goals on the weekend, and you know, he's been consistently in our best players throughout the year. But you know, we can't have him missing easy goals.
What have
your discussions been like with him? Look, I mean, it's just practice and routine and not being too concerned about missing. So at the moment, he's just, you know, he's doing all the hard work, but it's not paying off. And clearly, it's a mental issue. He's working really strongly with our sports psych on that, and he'll get better.
The players also have an early recovery session on that. Is it earlier than normal? Or?
No, just standard. They went down to the beach instead of doing it here, but that's a semi-regular thing.
Just with the way the season's shaping, so many teams, I guess, are emerging. Do you think it's sort of margin for error now? There's not much in it. Being 3 and 4, there's teams that go up to 6 and 1, 5 and 2 that you need to turn around straight away. Yeah, but I think every game's important. You know, that we're in a season now which is really tight, so we've got to. You know, I don't think the traditional 11.5, 12 wins is going to do it. So, but we're focused on the win-loss ratio. We've got to get that right and get back on the positive side of the ledger.
How do you assess Port Adelaide?
I think their effort's been fantastic. You know, I think that while they haven't won, you know, I think they've been really good. They've worked really hard without getting the result, and I think they'll see this game as a game they can get over the line in.
With the injury to Hamish, would you consider recalling someone like a Cam Pedersen who's pretty good in the VFL over the weekend, or will you look at maybe his injury Petrie in that support role?
No, we've got a lot of those options open to us, but match committee's tomorrow, so we'll discuss all those things tomorrow.
Are you happy with Cam's progress in the VFL?
He needed to address some things last week that he didn't get right in the senior side the week before. But look, he's a work in progress at the moment.
Will there be many casualties at selection after a performance like that, or do you back most of them in to turn it around?
We'll see. I mean, when you select a side, it goes around in, you pick the side that you think's going to win. So, we'll go about that process, and I can't foreshadow what those things are going to be yet.
What was the players' reaction? How angry or disappointed were they in that meeting?
Yeah, they're shattered with the result. I mean, they're real competitors, so they expect more from each other, but the measure is in how you respond.
Brad, since it's Wednesday, we're talking about a game that happened on Sunday. Yep. How quickly did you move on with the group after the review? I mean, do you do it lunchtime Monday or longer than that? Yeah,
look, I think we had our review on Monday. Usually you like to move on, but after a lot of things on the couch was on a Tuesday night because of the Monday game, so we still feel like we're at the start of the week rather than halfway through. But as a playing group, we've moved on and we're focusing on the actions that are required. So it's just an unusual week like that, I suppose.
There was some talk the AFL was going to send you a plea to explain about your reaction in the box when the Zeeble thing happened. Is that correct, or is that just an erroneous report? You haven't heard anything from the league?
No.
Thanks for that.
How do you go into this game knowing that you will be expected to win this game against Port like you were expected to beat the Bulldogs? What has to change this week going into the game?
Nothing. We expect to win every game we play. I suppose the positive thing for us at the moment is that if we put in that performance last week, we would have, 12 months ago we would have lost that game by 100 points. We're doing a lot of things right. It's that effort level that wasn't there on the weekend. We get that right, we'll get the result.
Just a quick one. Have you seen the new footy boots that are in the Herald Sun today that are supposed to help you kick straighter and further? Do you think that would help someone like Lindsay Thomas in the long run?
I think he's trying everything at the moment, so maybe they might send him a bear.
How long will Hamish miss, do you think?
Well, look, we think it's probably going to be 1 to 2. He thinks he's a good chance this week, so we'll give him every chance, but we certainly won't take any risks.
Has he done anything running wise, or has it been?
No, he's in full recovery mode at the moment. Yep.
Aside from him, how many more changes would you anticipate?
No, I don't know, Bruce. I don't know. It's very difficult to say, but we've got players in good form in the VFL, so after a performance like we put in the weekend, you expect changes.
Who gets a list of contenders from your two affiliates?
I think that we've got a lot of key position players who've been playing well, but Levi Greenwood's in really good form. Nathan Grime is starting to look like he's over his injury troubles. Ben Warren's been in consistent form, so we're not short on options. We've just got to pick the best mix.
Aaron Blackberry signing today, but it must have been pleasing and probably disappointing week otherwise.
Yeah, really good for Blackie. He's an emerging player. He's got some really clear development plans in place, and we think he's an exciting talent, and we'd like to think he's available for selection, if not this week, pretty soon. But he's got some things we've asked him to focus on in the VFL that he's not quite getting right yet, but he's close.
Do you think he's going to be big enough to play a key role, or be more that third sort of role?
No, I think at the moment he's a third tall. We know that key position players take a long time. Eventually we think he'll be able to hold down a key position, but at the moment he'd be more that athletic, agile third forward, I'd say.
When you looked at the tape, was it enough of your leaders do enough to try and change the pace of that game on the weekend?
Oh, I think that we're really fortunate with the leaders we've got at the footy club, and I think Jack Zeeble personifies the way we want to go about it, although obviously his technique has to change a little bit at the contest. But I think that we're really fortunate with the 5 leaders we've got, and Harvey and Wells are constant targets for the opposition, and when they're being well held, they've got to find other ways to get into the game. So they know that, they're really clear. But I think Swallow, Petrie, Harvey, Wells, Zeeble set a great example for our club.
There's obviously been a lot of focus on the weekend's performance, but the month as a whole that you've had, how would you sort of look back on it?
No, it hasn't been to the level that's required, and after in hindsight, the round 2 game against GWS, the round 3 game against Geelong, the template's pretty clear against us. Really place an enormous amount of pressure on us around the ball, and we'll cough it up and turn it over and get scored against. So that's what sides have done to us really successfully. It's up to us to counter that now.
So the style doesn't have to alter, you just got to work out the best way to deal with sides using those tactics.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to play finals footy is based around pressure, so you've got to be able to withstand that.
For someone like Jack, Brad, how hard is it going to be for him to change his way of attacking the ball?
Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult when you get a week's notice because you know that he's been doing that at the contest since he could walk. So you know, it's a lot to when you play on instinct. It's a lot to change. But I think you find AFL players are pretty adaptable. When there's a rule change, they adapt pretty quickly.